Welcome to How Prenatal Yoga Can Help You Have a Better Pregnancy, Birth, and Postpartum. We know prenatal yoga is beneficial, but we don't really realize how beneficial it can be to the entire experience. So, I'm going to touch on that today. So, first, a little bit about me. Most of you know me that are here, but for those of you that don't, I am a movement teacher. I teach prenatal yoga. I'm also a prenatal teacher trainer, and then I teach postnatal fitness and yoga. I'm a birth doula and a childbirth educator, and I've been doing this work for 10 years. I founded Unfold Yoga Studio back in 2012. We are a prenatal yoga studio in Brea, California. I've studied the pelvic floor with Leslie Howard. It's one of my favorite topics, and I talk about it a lot in my classes and in the program. And, I've been lucky enough over the years to lead thousands of women through pregnancy with prenatal yoga and postnatal yoga. And I have attended 120 births as a birth doula, or over 120 births at this point. And then I've also had two very different birth experiences myself. So having that to draw from gives me a very unique perspective on the experience. So that is my why. So I became all of these things because of the experience that I had with my first pregnancy. And I later learned that that experience is very common. And I created a community and a space. And now I do the work that I do to empower more women on the journey so they have a better pregnancy, a better birth, and a better postpartum, because you can have a better experience. And, a lot of times we just don't know until we know. So that is what I am here to do, is to just educate and empower people on their pregnancy journey. So for a fact, you can have an easier birth by practicing prenatal yoga. You can also have an easier pregnancy and an easier postpartum. None of these things are easy, but they can be easier. So these are just some of the benefits of prenatal yoga. This is a short list. So these are just some things I wanted to touch on. The thing with this is it needs to be taught the right way. Prenatal yoga that is just modified yoga is not really prenatal yoga. So everything that I teach is specific to pregnancy. There's a reason for everything we do. It's going to prepare you for pregnancy. It's going to prepare you for birth. It's going to prepare you for postpartum. The way that we engage the core, the way that we work the pelvic floor, the positions that we do, all of these things are for specific reasons. So, what prenatal yoga does is it builds stamina, and we need stamina for birth and postpartum and motherhood. We are preparing for a marathon, and prenatal yoga is going to help you do that. You're also going to feel better. You're going to have less aches and pains. You're going to have a little bit more energy if you practice prenatal yoga regularly during your pregnancy. You're going to have a healthier pelvic floor, a strong pelvic floor, but we will not do Kegels. So, Kegels are not necessarily the answer, and there are so many other things that we can do to benefit your pelvic floor so it is actually healthier than before you even got pregnant. We're going to manage stress. Prenatal yoga is going to help you manage the stress of all of the changes that are happening in your life and in your body. And, as you prepare to bring this new addition into your life, we'll also get to decrease tension in the body as well as stress. And we're going to help get the baby into a position for an easier, shorter labor. So we call that optimal fetal positioning. And that is something that we focus on with our practice. Our goal is to also increase strength and flexibility. So, yes, we want to be more flexible, but we also need to be stronger. So, we're going to find this balance between strength and softness in our practice. We learn and practice different relaxation techniques. We're going to learn and practice different relaxation techniques, little things popping up here. And these are techniques that you're going to use during your pregnancy and during your birth and for the rest of your life. So, life skills. You're going to sleep a little bit better, which is very helpful, especially in that third trimester when sleep becomes a little elusive. moving your body is going to help you sleep better. Meditating, breathing, it's going to help you sleep better. And if you practice regularly, you will heal faster postpartum. So it will help with the postpartum healing process, which is a process. So those are just some of the benefits. And then I wanted to share two client stories because I think they're very relatable. So this first one is from one of my past students, Felicia, and she said she started at the beginning of her third trimester. You can start anytime. That's what's so great about yoga. And it helped so much in managing the new aches and pains and tensions of pregnancy. The focus on breathing was a tremendous help during labor, and I would swear that the pelvic floor exercises made birth and postpartum healing easier. Yes, they do. And I have many client stories that say the same exact thing, which is really awesome because it does show that this works. So, this second one is from Jane, who is actually a current client of mine and a past client of mine. She's back with her second pregnancy, which is very commendable because it is hard to get away when you already have kids, but it's that much more important. So she said it's something that she looks forward to and makes a priority. I don't practice yoga normally, but during my pregnancies, I do. So that is something that a lot of my moms will also tell me, like, I don't really practice yoga. Yoga is not my thing. Prenatal yoga is very different. So I encourage you, even if you're kind of like, I don't know if yoga is my thing, give it a try, and prenatal yoga might be your thing. But it's been nice for so many reasons, she says, such as moving and stretching in ways that are comfortable and needed for my ever changing pregnant body, and learning how to move properly with a pregnant belly to not get hurt. There are ways that we can move more efficiently to ensure that we don't injure ourselves or we don't aggravate aches and pains during pregnancy. And that's something that I also go into in my classes and in my program. So now we're going to flow, clear out some space, grab a couple pillows or a couple blankets for the end when we do relaxation. And then you'll also sit on one of them once we find a seat. If you haven't practiced yoga before, listen to your body. If something doesn't feel good, don't do it. Feel free to adjust, modify, or just skip it altogether. So go ahead and find a comfortable seat and we'll get started. So when you find your seat, you want to move some of the flesh away and really root down through your sits bones. You're going to sit up nice and tall, soften and stack your ribs right above your pelvis. And then take a moment here and just bring your shoulders up to your ears. Hold your shoulders really tight. And then exhale them down away from the ears. Let's do that again. Bring your shoulders up towards the ears. Hold them tight. And release. And from here, we're just going to breathe in and out through the nose. And you can leave your hands where they are. If you'd like, you can take one hand to your heart and one hand to your baby. And as you inhale, try to expand the ribs. Really feel the space that a deep inhalation can create. And as you exhale, exhale everything out of the lungs. Soften into your body. And take this opportunity to let go of any holding, any tension. Take a moment and check in with your baby. So as you move through your practice, stay connected to your breath. Take nice deep breaths. Full inhales, full exhales. Work on creating space with the inhalation and releasing, holding and tension with the exhale. On your next inhalation, we'll sweep the arms up. Exhale, side out, hands to the heart. Releasing your hands. We're going to roll the shoulders out one shoulder at a time. So bring one shoulder forward, up and back. and then the other. Just kind of swaying side to side, rolling out the shoulders. And then bring it on back. Let the shoulders just be heavy. Go ahead and drop your right ear over by your right shoulder. Bring the shoulder up to the ear. It might already be there. And then let it release down. Same thing, opposite side, chin to chest. Bring the left shoulder up towards the ear and then drop it down. And then from here, just start to move side to side really slowly here. As you do this, soften your jaw. So going back to the pelvic floor, if your jaw is tight, your pelvic floor is tight. So we want to work on cultivating softness there. Bringing the chin back to the chest, let the head hang for a moment. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up, lift your gaze. Sigh it out, hands to the heart. Go ahead and change the crossing of the legs. We're going to balance everything out. Taking your hands to your knees, we're going to start with seated cat-cow tilts. Inhale, lift the heart, press your tailbone back. As you exhale, hug your baby in and up around the spine. As we inhale and come forward, everything softens. And then as you round, you're hugging your baby in and up. Core is on, pelvic floor is working. Start to find your flow. Connecting your movement to your breath. And then you're going to find a place to turn these into hip circles, starting to round forward and back. Opposite direction. So hopefully you're already starting to feel just a little more relaxed, a little less tense in your body. Bringing it back to center. We're going to go ahead and take the feet off to the side and transition into tabletop. So as you transition into tabletop, a couple things to take note of. If you're on a hard surface, slide something underneath your knees and make sure that you're spreading your fingers and pressing through your entire hand. So we don't want to dump in the wrist. We want to press all the way through the fingertips. Shoulders back and the head is lengthening forward. So the spine is long. And we're just going to start to flow here. Inhale, peeling your heart forward, soft bend in your elbows. Exhale, round the spine, chin to chest, hug baby in and up. As you inhale, peel your heart forward, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, round. Again, flowing with your breath. Just warming up the spine, working on some core engagements. Finding your way back to neutral spine. Everything is long, baby's hugged in gently. You're going to take your right leg back behind you, curl your toes, push the top of the mat away for a stretch on the back of the leg. Release that knee down, switch sides, curl the toes, press into the heel, push the top of the mat away. And release that knee down. From here, you're going to walk your hands over to the left side of your mat. As you exhale, you're going to step your right foot forward, front ankle and knee right on top of each other. Plenty of space for baby. So I'm just going to pivot so you can see me a little bit better. So lots of space for baby. We're going to come on up into a lunge. Your hands can come to your hips, or you can sweep the arms up. Turn your pinkies in, relax your shoulders down your back. Try to breathe into your side body here, create some space. Take a big breath, maybe lift your heart, and then you're going to plant your hands back down. We're going to walk the hands out slightly and then turn your left ankle in, drawing some circles with the hips. So this is really nice to release tension in the low back. Opposite direction. So with prenatal, it's not about how it looks, it's all about how it feels. So really tune into your body, what feels good. Bring it back to center. You're going to step the foot back. Returning into your tabletop, you're going to take your knees nice and wide. Arms stretch out in front. Just come back as far as you can. We're going to find a little bit of a flow here. You're going to inhale in your child's pose. Exhale, press yourself up around your spine. Let your head just be heavy. Inhale, send your hips back. Exhale, round. 2 more. Inhale back. Pelvic floor softens. Exhale, lift. Last one. Pause here. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth. Float back up into tabletop. And you're going to take your lunge on the other side. So you're going to walk your hands over to the right. Step your left foot forward. Press yourself up. Hands to your hips, pressing your outer hips towards the midline. Maybe float your arms up. Soften into your shoulders. Find your breath here. You can sink in more if you'd like. You're going to take a big breath, lift the heart. Exhale, plant the hands, give yourself space. Slide your right ankle in. Draw your circles. And then take it in the opposite direction. So this is also a labor pose. This is also a good pose to help baby get into position. We'll bring it back, step that foot back. You're going to find your child's pose one more time. This time you're just going to pause and focus on breathing all the way down past your baby to the bowl of the pelvis. So using the breath to create space and to release tension. Take a deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Spread your fingers, float up to tabletop. We're going to find down dog. You can skip downward facing dog if you're feeling nauseous or you have heartburn. If it feels okay, you're going to take your feet wide, curl your toes, hug your baby in and up, lift your hips up to the sky. You push the top of the mat away and just start to walk it out. Now you're going to find some stillness, soft bend in your knees, lift your tailbone to the sky, walk your hands towards your feet. You can take a wide leg fold here, grabbing the elbows, swaying side to side. If that doesn't feel great for you, you bend your knees and take your hands to your thighs and just sway here. If you're not already there, bend your knees, press your hands into your thighs, lift your head, lift your heart. You're in a half squat. So honor your body. If you feel a little lightheaded, just stand, drop your chin to your chest, catch up with when you're ready. If you feel okay, you're going to press through your feet, reach your arms up, hook your right wrist, reach up, and then gently over. Switch it up. Make sure the shoulders are away from the ears. Bring it back. Release your hands. You're going to send your hips back on an inhale. Reach your fingertips behind you. As you exhale, press through your feet, engage your glutes, sweep your arms up, and bend your elbows. Come back, inhale, exhale. Inhale down, exhale up. Inhale down, pause, bring your hands to your thighs. We're going to just draw some circles with the pelvis. So you're going to imagine that you're drawing this big circle with your tailbone. You might feel like this is really challenging because we're not used to moving this way. Just move in any way you can. Opposite direction. And the more that you do these movements, the more fluid that they are, and the more easier they come to you. And then bring it back to center. Press your hands into your thighs. Come on up. Roll your shoulders forward, up, back and down. 2 more times. Relax your shoulders down. We're going to go ahead and take a wide stance on the mat. So I'm going to show you my favorite squats. With squats, if you have any pressure or pulling, don't go so deep or skip them altogether. So if squats don't feel good, you can do hip circles or open up into your chest instead. For our squats, we're going to pivot the toes forward, and we're going to focus more on sending the hips back than coming into a deep squat. So we're going to inhale, send the hips back and slightly down. So when you're here in this position, you're really spreading through your sits bone. So this is pelvic floor work. We're inhaling here, and you're going to exhale, come up. Inhale, send your hips back and down. As you come up, press through your feet, squeeze your glutes, use your hamstrings. Inhale down, exhale up. Couple more. So these are one of the things that we do instead of Kegels. After your last one, you're just going to come to stand. Release your hands. From here, you're going to pivot your toes out slightly. Sink back into just that little half squat. You're going to take your left hand to your left thigh, twist over to the right. A little decompression in the spine. Switch it up. And then bring it back. Press into the thighs. Come to stand. Go ahead and bring the feet in. We're going to do a balancing pose. We're just going to do tree. If you have pubic bone pain, skip this, and you're going to cross the legs and sink down instead. So that's your alternative pose. Otherwise, we are going to root down through the right leg. I want you to start to feel grounded and find a focal point. So find something to look at, and then you're going to open into your left thigh. You can keep the toes down, or you can bring them anywhere on the leg. Hands can stay at your heart. You can come to your baby. They can reach up. So just make sure you feel balanced. You're breathing, and you're looking at that focal point. Just embracing that sway. Release. Shake it all off. So focal points are also very helpful tools for coping with contractions, for coping with labor. And for some people, they bring something to the hospital that they just want to look at, that they find calming, an affirmation card, a photo, whatever it is. And for some people, they find it when they're there. And that's just the thing that they focus on. It helps them get through that contraction more easily. So just know that that is a coping mechanism. So soft bend, open up through the right hip, and take it where you like. Focusing on that focal point to keep you grounded. Make sure you're breathing. You can keep your hands where they are. You can grow your tree. And then we'll release down. Shake it all off. We're going to step to the back of the mat and take the feet wide. We're going to do one half sun salutation. So we modify our sun salutations. You're going to take a moment and just root down through your feet. Plenty of space for baby. Lengthen up, soften your ribs. When you're ready, you're going to sweep your arms up towards the sky. Bowing forward, bend your knees, lift your tailbone to the sky. Your head and your heart are going to stay aligned as you come into this squat. And then you're going to inhale, lengthen. So your hands can come anywhere that you'd like. They can come on the thighs, the shins, they can stay on the ground, but we're creating this L shape with the body. You'll come back into your squat, bend into the knees, head and the heart aligned. Press through your feet, squeeze your glutes, bring your hands to your heart as you come to stand. We'll do that one more time. Float it up. Bowing forward, lift the tailbone up towards the ceiling. Find that length. Come back into your squat. Hands to your heart. Sweep the arms up. We're going to come all the way down, bowing forward, taking your hands to the floor. Walk yourself into your tabletop position. Spreading your fingers. Take your knees wide. We're going to arch and round in and out of our child's pose, sinking the hips back. Inhale, everything softens. Exhale, round, float up. Inhale back. The next time that you come into your child's pose, you're just going to pause. Take a few breaths. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Audible sigh out through the mouth. Float up into tabletop. Take your feet off to the side. We're going to find a seat, bringing the soles of the feet together. You can have them as far from you or as close to you as you'd like. You're just going to sit up really tall, root down through those sits bones once again. And you have options. So maybe you just hang out here and rock. Maybe you come forward. You want to keep the spine long, bringing your heart towards the front edge of your mat. And then wherever you're at, you're going to add in those half circles once again. Nice and slow. Check in with your jaw, soften your jaw. Let go of any tension or holding. Eventually, you're going to come back to center, lengthen through the spine. We're going to close with a twist, twisting from the rib cage up. Take your right hand behind you. Your left hand can come to your left leg, right in front, or over to the right thigh. And you want to breathe deeply here to create space. Exhale everything out to soften. Bring it back to center. Switching sides, twisting from the rib cage up, focusing on that length. Breathing to create space and release. And coming back to center. Bring the shoulders up to the ears, hold the shoulders tight. And let it go. Good. So from here, we're going to come into relaxation. And that can look any way that you like. So if you have some pillows or some blankets, you can do side lying position. So the same way that you sleep, but you want to make sure that you are supporting both your knee and your ankle. So it looks like this. Or you can stack everything up behind you and do a semi-reclined position, depending upon what you have for props. Just got to get creative. So this can be a nice position as well. So take a moment, get comfortable. And I'll lead you through a short meditation. So once you've settled in, let go of any need to control your breath. And just let your breath breathe you. Feel your body start to melt into the surface beneath you like honey. With every breath you take, allow yourself to relax a little bit more. Allow yourself to let go. Allow yourself to soften. From this place of relaxation, imagine the color of relaxation. What color would you assign to that feeling? And then you're going to imagine that color as a soft mist. And as you inhale, you're breathing in relaxation. And as you exhale, you're breathing out relaxation. As you inhale, the color of relaxation is filling you up all the way down to the soles of your feet, to your baby, to your fingertips, up to the crown of your head. And then as you exhale, you're enveloping yourself and your baby in the soft mist of relaxation. Breathing it in and breathing it out. Imagine your baby completely relaxed, happy and healthy. You feel yourself completely relaxed. I thank yourself for taking time, for showing up, for taking time out to connect to your baby and your pregnancy and yourself. Take a deep breath down to your baby. And then take a nice deep breath for yourself. When you feel ready, start to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Circle your ankles and your wrists. And just start to stretch it out. Take any movement that you need to wake yourself back up. Feeling calm, feeling re-energized. And whenever you feel ready, you're just going to roll to your side, press yourself up, find a seat. Take one hand to your heart and one hand to your baby. So we're just coming back to where we started. Breathing into the space that you were able to make in this short practice. Realizing that even the smallest amount of moving and connecting to your breath can make the biggest impact. We'll take one last deep breath. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. And as you exhale, bring your hands to your heart, side out. Thank you for that practice. Hopefully you got everything you needed from that, feeling a little more relaxed. Pretty good way to end the week. Going to just talk about Unfold Motherhood, the program. I know some of you are already in the beta program, and there will be some changes to that, lots of additions, and then the addition of the pregnancy coaching. So for those of you that are not familiar with the program at all, it is an online program that has prenatal yoga classes. There are pre-recorded shorter classes, about 30-ish minutes, and then there are some hour-long classes that are videos of my live stream classes. And the way that I teach prenatal yoga, it's accessible and it's a functional blend of yoga and mobility, and everything is specific to pregnancy. The other thing in the program is bite-sized education. So short videos that talk about things that you won't learn in your regular childbirth class. So I talk about things like optimal fetal positioning and how to move during pregnancy, and lots of talk on the pelvic floor and what to do instead of Kegels. And then the big part of the program is the coaching. So not everyone has a doula, not everyone has someone that they can ask questions to. So in the program, we do monthly coaching calls where we hop on a call and I answer all of your questions about pregnancy, birth, and postpartum. So when I have a doula client, they can reach out to me anytime and ask me anything. And if I don't have the answer, I'll give them a resource. And those questions can range from like, oh, when I get out of bed, I have this like pain, or I'm starting to have this pain at my pubic bone. What can I do? It could be, how am I going to know when I go into labor? What do I do? Like, when is my water going to break? What do I do if it breaks? All of these questions that come up during pregnancy, we will have a time and space where you have access to me and I will answer all of your questions as best I can. So it's almost like you have a doula, and you have access to me once a month, all the questions. If you can't attend live, that's okay. You can just send me questions and I will answer them in the live. And you'll have access to those in the program. So that's a really cool thing. I'm very excited about that. And ultimately, those are the key pieces. There's also meditation and restorative yoga and things like that within the program. If you sign up this round, you also get access to my Empowered Postpartum Workshop. So I am a big advocate at preparing for postpartum. It's something that we need to talk about more. So that's part of the bonus if you sign up this round. And then you also get beta pricing. So this is the first round. So the pricing is going to be a little bit lower than it will be in the future. And these are the investments. You can do monthly and you can cancel anytime. You can do 3 months or 6 months. So it really just depends on where you are in your pregnancy journey. But lots of flexibility there. Now you have from tonight until the 23rd to register, and then we're closing registration for an undetermined amount of time. So I'm not sure how long it will be before I run it again, just kind of feeling it out, learning all the ins and outs. I do have students that have been in the program for a while from the studio, and this will be my first time opening out to everyone else. So we will have open registration again, just not sure when. So that is Unfold Motherhood. I'll provide the link to the course page that goes into everything in so much more detail. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me at any time and I will be happy to chat. So thank you for joining me. I hope that you enjoyed the class and I hope that you got what you needed from it.